Appreciate it. Wow. I didn't want to. Yep. That was
Friends, family, and loved ones, welcome to the ring presentation ceremony for the class of 2021 of the United States Military Academy. I'm Cadet McGilligot, the ring crest chairperson for the class, and it is my privilege today, along with First Captain Cadet Riley McGinnis, to lead the presentation ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation delivered by Chaplain Rondon.
Leaders, let us pray. God of all creation, today we ask for the class of 2021, as they start wearing their class rings in commemoration of their academic achievement thus far, and as they enter their final year at the United States Military Academy. As our noble tradition that goes back to 1835, with the first class to ever wear their class rings, I pray, Lord, that these future warriors and servant leaders of our Army Strong will never become complacent in their character, competence, and commitment. Rather, I pray they will all become more courageous, more resilient, and ready to uphold what they ought to be to build courage, what they can be to regain faith, and what they will be to spread hope. I pray that you, most powerful Lord, will keep guiding, protecting, strengthening, and encouraging our ring bearers during their last year of academic preparation, so that they will transition into leading from the very front in the most powerful force on earth. Go Army, duty, honor, country, in your most holy name I pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. On January 24th, 2020, the class leadership stood next to the donors who placed their or their loved ones' West Point class rings in a crucible. The gold melted from these rings was mixed into the gold for our rings, symbolizing our bond with the long gray line. This evening, this year's donors are participating virtually, along with members of 42 donors' families. The hopes, dreams, and accomplishments that your rings represented are now permanently tied to our hopes, dreams, and potential, and we thank you for your generous gift. To the class of 1971, thank you for your guidance and mentorship through our time at West Point. This ceremony is a symbol of the hard work, commitment, and dedication the class of 2021 has put in to the last 3 years at West Point. For the next 232 days, our class crest will face our hearts. When we graduate, we turn our rings so the West Point crest faces our hearts. In the next 232 days, we will find our branches, select our first assignments in our Army. We will set the conditions for the rest of our lives. Fellow members of the class of 2021, our day, July 3rd, 2017, marked the beginning of our journey together here at West Point. During the last 3 years, we have created great memories and forged lifelong friendships. Our ring is a symbol that connects us to the long gray line before us and those who will follow in the ranks behind us. Let us lead the Corps with strength, integrity, and dignity. Finally, we thank the Commandant, Brigadier General Curtis A. Buzzard. Class, attention! Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Curtis A. Buzzard, the 78th Commandant of the United States Corps of Cadets.
Old school. Stand at ease. All right, good evening, everyone. The rain's cleared. We've got beautiful weather. We're back down here at Trophy Point. It's traditional location for this ring ceremony, and I reflect on myself getting mine here over 29 years ago. I'd like to begin with a special welcome to our distinguished guests, General Clark, Commander of U.S. Special Operations Command and the 74th Commandant of Cadets, Lieutenant General Williams, our superintendent, Command Sergeant Major Coffey, Brigadier General Jebb, Mr. Mike Buddy, and my right-hand man, Command Sergeant Major Killingsworth. And to the members of the 50-year affiliate class, professionally done 71, and all the moms and dads, siblings, and friends of the class of 2021 joining us virtually from around the United States and the world, welcome to the class of 2021's ring ceremony. I would also like to recognize some other very important guests also joining us virtually. We're honored by the presence of our ring donors from the class of 2021. Please join me in thanking all of our guests, whether in person or joining us virtually, with a round of applause. I also would like to sincerely thank the West Point Association of Graduates for their continued support in sponsoring the annual West Point Class Ring Memorial Program, which started with the class of 2002, and to date, 617 rings have been donated into the melt. And now, finally and most importantly, the class of 2021, until the battle is won. It is an honor to be with you here on this momentous occasion. As the soup said last night, things may look a little different this year due to coronavirus, but it's not stopping us from our mission to develop leaders of character for our Army. And this is a significant waypoint. The most important being graduation, with only 232 in the butt days remaining, but who's counting? Firsties, I understand that my speech stands between you and the moment you receive your ring, your crass mass of brass and glass. So I'll try to be brief, but it is fitting that we take a few moments to reflect on our rings and this ceremony. Your class rings were formed with the addition of 41 ring donors. The oldest ring was from the class of 1919 and the youngest from the class of 2001. Of note, the oldest ring, again from the class of 1919, was donated by Hobart Hewitt, the grandson of Major General Hobart Hewitt. And it comes with an interesting story. Cadet Hewitt and his classmates entered in 1917 as the class of 1921, your 100-year class affiliate. But his class graduated in June of 1919, 2 years early due to World War I. But they did maintain the crest of 1921. The ring itself was lost for many years, recently recovered, and then donated into the ring melt. So in addition to his ring, 5 are also from your 50-year affiliate class, the class of 71. So collectively, their rings enhance the rich history that is forever embedded into the rings you are about to receive. A few notes about your affiliated class of 1971. Truly a remarkable class, and one that fully exemplifies what it means to be a leader of character and to persevere through turbulent times, not unlike today. The class of 1971 entered West Point on 3 July 1967 as the third of the West Point expansion classes ordered by President John F. Kennedy. At that time, West Point was growing significantly. Eisenhower MacArthur barracks were under construction, Washington Hall was doubling in size, and it was the addition of the golf and hotel companies to each of the 4 regiments. And India companies were later added in 1969. It was also a complex time globally and in the United States. The Soviet Union had invaded Czechoslovakia in 1968 to crack down on reformists. East-West tensions and incidents in Europe between NATO and the Communist Warsaw Pact dominated world attention. The Vietnam War continued, and an increase in the number of U.S. troops and the Tet Offensive of 1968 brought the war and its losses to most every town in America. Domestically, the assassinations of Martin Luther King in the spring and Robert Kennedy at the end of plebe year created an enormously destabilizing effect on society. During cadet years, the class of 1971 saw the election of Richard Nixon, Woodstock, the Vietnam War draft lottery, and the moon landing. The nation endured many anti-war protests, and this even brought protesters to West Point. Some cadets were known to have long hair, wigs, and blue jeans as their bags as they departed on leave, so that they would not be recognized as members of the armed forces. Despite this great adversity, the class of 1971 persevered. The class participated in combat in Panama, Grenada, the Gulf War, and even the global war on terror, as well as peacekeeping missions in the Sinai, Bosnia, Haiti, and other locations. And in particular, the class of 1971 distinguished itself in the first Gulf War, as many were in key command and staff positions. And the class included 6 lieutenant generals, 5 major generals, and 6 brigadier generals. 2 members of the class, Lieutenant General William Lennox and Lieutenant General Buster Hagenbach, served as the 56th and 57th superintendents. And Brigadier General Patrick Finnegan was the 12th dean of the academic board. Lieutenant General Del Daly was also appointed the first ambassador for counterterrorism to the Department of State. Additionally, members of the class distinguished themselves as senior executives. Bill Carr and Frank Kendall both served as undersecretaries of defense. Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island serves in Congress as a senior senator from that state today. Class has among its ranks 3 international cadets that went on to be 4-star generals. Former Thai Supreme Commander of the Royal Armed Forces, Boonsrod Niem Pradit, former Chief of Staff of the Philippine Armed Forces, General Narciso Abaya, and General Il-sung Shin from the Republic of Korea. Please join me in a round of applause for the class of 1971. Now on to the rings. There's those among you who spent most of your cadet account, some of your Cal loan, you probably took out a cash advance, and some may have used a little help from their mom and dad in customizing your rings, while some chose the other end of the price spectrum. The price range this year went from a high of $11,432 down to a low of $298. The average cost of your rings was in the $1,786 price range. Balfour was the ring company for both classes, but by comparison, the prices of the rings purchased by the class of 1971 generally range from $75 to $500, with the average cost being $150. Regardless of value, your rings are much more than a piece of jewelry. It is a connection to the Corps and the long gray line. Emblazoned on one side of your ring is your class crest and the motto, "Until the battle is won." Collectively, this symbolizes a commitment to your class and to the moral, mental, and physical strength necessary to be a leader of character. On the other side of your ring is the Academy crest. We all have the same one. It serves as a constant reminder of who you are and who you represent. It identifies you as a standard bearer of our values, duty, honor, country, and you are expected to exemplify a commitment to those values for your lifetime. You've earned it, now you have to live it each and every day. As mentioned before, the class of 1835 was the first to wear class rings, with only 2 exceptions since then. Each class has participated in this tradition. When wearing your ring, the tradition is the ring is worn with the class crest towards your heart before graduation and the Academy crest towards your heart after graduation. As I look upon the hillside behind the class of 21, I cannot help but notice that something is missing. An army of family, friends, and loved ones who couldn't be here in person this year, but have joined us virtually. Though not here physically, their love and support was essential to your development, motivating you to persevere, to overcome challenges, to complete the mission. Symbolically, they do stand behind you, providing love and support as they have for your 3+ years of being a cadet. To the class of 2021, please join me in a thunderous round of applause to thank your parents, families, and friends that helped you get to this day. Finally, I want to reinforce how grateful we should be to have this opportunity to conduct this ceremony. We are one of a few schools back in session, leading the way through this pandemic. And we earn the ability to be here each and every day. and we execute our mission by doing the right thing. Everyone here this evening contributes to leading through COVID-19, but especially the class of 2021, who are the leaders of the Corps. Your discipline and enforcement of standards is the cornerstone of our success, and we are all so very proud of you. In closing, congratulations to the class of 2021 on receiving your rings and moving one step closer to graduation. I also hope you recognize that you are receiving more than a ring. It is a symbol, it is a bond, and it is a commitment. You will be held to a higher standard. May you never forget duty, honor, country, and until the battle is won. Congratulations, go Army, beat everybody.
Class of 2021, attention! Ring and crest representatives, post. Companies, distribute rings.
Oh no, sir.
All right, I want that photo on the first camera, all right? One more.
Get it, make the correction. Make the correction. Class of 2021, don your rings. Like a little closer.